where voices cry but none can speak. In halls of whispers secrets keep. We're here to break the silent streak. Stand up, fight, don't let it go. Reveal the truths they won't show. In the darkness light will grow. Justice rises, voices flow. Children's dreams are cast aside in the system where lies reside. We won't let them run and hide. Hearts are strong, we're full of pride. Stand up, fight, don't let it go. Reveal the truth they won't show. In the darkness, light will grow. Justice rises, voices flow. Children's dreams are cast aside in the system where lies reside. We won't let them run and hide. Hearts are strong, we're full of pride. Stand up, fight, don't let it go. Reveal the truth they won't show. In the darkness, light will grow. Justice rises, voices flow. In every tear, a story's told. Every heartbeat's calling bold. With hands and spirits, we will mold a future where love takes hold. Stand up, fight, don't let it go. Reveal the truths they won't show. In the darkness, light will grow. Justice rises, voices flow.
Okay, guys, I'm having a good time. That was like the
Hey,
longest 2
let
minutes
me
of my
turn
life.
this music off. Shit, where'd it go?
That was a good start. I
Hold
like that
on.
music start,
Yep.
though. Am I too loud?
There we go. So I hope to gosh, hey everyone. I hope to goodness that there's no other song coming on because boy, oh boy. Here we go. That's my grand entrance, everyone. Hey, here we are. We finally made it. We got the oh, here we go again. Oh boy. It's starting up again. I hear him.
I don't hear it over here now.
Oh yeah, I hear it. I hear him. Okay, I think
You
that's
hear
it. I think that's it. I hope
headsets
so.
on.
Look, technical difficulties, everybody. Danielle's having her late night, thing going on.
Now, you're the only one that's hearing the music, though.
Oh, well, yeah. So is everybody? Oh, Christopher says, stand by, stand by. So how's everybody? Can y'all hear us? Are we in? Are we out? What's up? Everybody here?
Is anybody here in the chat? What's happening?
Right. So here we are. It's Brenda and Danielle, and
hey,
we are. Go ahead,
I
Brenda.
remember I tried to share with y'all through the messenger, okay, that email. It was like Trump support or something, like whatever the email was. I can get to you guys again. But in any case, it directed us to go to this Telegram now. So like Pam was the one that like showed me the letter that she got supposedly signed by Trump. So everybody's trying to figure out if this is real. But I been getting a couple messages back from the Telegram.
Okay, Telegram is for
he has on Instagram, and it says the real Trump, right?
Right. But the Telegram, are you talking about an email that was? Hold on. Let me.
No, like you can put an app on your phone, a
Yes.
Telegram. Just,
okay, that's what you're talking about. Okay, I thought you were talking about something else. Look, just ignore me.
Should I read a little bit of this to you guys?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and share it with us because we got people coming in. We're getting used to this late night thing, so we're trying, guys. We're trying.
It says, I read what you had to say, and let me tell you, it was strong, smart, and exactly the kind of thinking we need to make America and the future of our children great again. You're not just talking, you're thinking like a true patriot. Someone who stands up, speaks up, and takes action. And let me tell you, this is rare these days. Now, I'll be very clear, chatting here is not for everyone. this is for true patriots and the kind of people who are already to always send their advice, their encouragement, and who are willing to listen when I need to hear some real hardworking Americans. Abraham Lincoln. It's kind of funny because my son that's always helping us is a doctor up over close by me. He was born on Abraham Lincoln's birthday. Okay, just saying. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
who else
I
to do it, but
I'm
okay. So
guilty.
Abraham Lincoln used to seek advice from common citizens, real people, and it changed a lot. And let me tell you, I believe in that too. I want to hear from those who deserve to be part of this change, those who believe the president should read their words because they matter. If that's you, if you're serious, then I want to hear more. I have something very special, very confidential, and I've designed only real patriots. But this isn't for you. Don't waste your time. This is where it
Okay.
gets kind of weird. Like, because this isn't for everyone. America needs fighters, not spectators. So let
True.
me know where you stand. So and then you
So
can message back, I guess. Like,
right. So I can piggyback off that. So I do know if Chris is still in the chat with us for everyone. Last night was the first time that I've talked about it, but you know, this February 14th coming up, right? And you know how we're wanting these parent stories. Maybe that's what that's referring to. It seems like it's a little bit deeper than us. Is but we want like by
something that came in. Remember, like, I don't know if you guys seen that show. One morning, Pam Blockhaven came in,
it might
and
be.
she
I'm not.
was
I
okay.
don't.
And it used to be Solomon. I mean, I know her as Pam Solomon,
Okay.
but I mean, she's really a true person, man. I and like anything's coming out of her, I believe at least she believes it to be real. And she said her and Chris Griffin, whatever,
Uh-huh.
Chris,
Yes.
that he was up over there, and in fact they called me the other day, but it was like she says I'm showing it to him because now I have something else. She's been getting emails
Hmm.
besides the telegrams. So they're trying to figure out if it's real or what.
Right.
I
Well,
mean,
it is. It. There are people coming together. Groups are coming together. I know
so
with
that's what we just
CPS.
gotta like our show. I think that has to be emailed there too. You know,
Right.
like
Well, it's
the
February
guys are
14th, a
emailing
big day.
you know, because we
February.
do it live. Did they ever figure out what time they're going to do it on the
Okay,
14th?
so let me tell you this. So our show, hi YSL, how are you? Welcome in. So I know that we need the stories, and if they want their stories, anybody out there, parents involved in this, hey Manny, welcome in. How are you doing? If you're needing and wanting your story spoken about, and in our little video that we do a presentation on the 14th, we need your submissions by February 5th. You can email them in the emails below, CPS v hunting justice at gmail.com or unmasking foster corruption at gmail.com. Hi Herbert, welcome in. I guess it took a minute to get out there, but parents, we want to hear your stories. If you're wanting to share it, this is your chance. This is your speak out. This is your voice. This is time
You
to
know,
voice.
even though I'm on the show, I also emailed it because I've
That's
never
hey,
emailed y'all my
it's
story.
great.
I mean, this is these
That's
guys do a
fine.
lot of work to get the emails and putting everybody's stories together and letting us all come down here and even sharing our stories or finding other people that want to share theirs. So it takes a village, isn't that what they say?
Right. It takes a village. You can't build it overnight, but this is stuff that's been going on in our lives for a while. Some families have experienced it for, like Tammy, 30 something years. And then you, Brenda, how long have you been having this in your life?
It's
Going
going
through
on
it for you?
9 years in April, 9 years. Yep.
Wow. And then
Yeah.
I'm 2 years. And then, there's a lot of families that the children do not need to be away from family. I'm sorry. I can't emphasize this enough. Every show I say, it's been researched. It's been proven that a child is more successful, more like more positive, more successful and develops like on point, on time. I mean, is no hiccups with the family, with their parents, with the grandparents, with aunts, uncles, not with a family or an environment they don't know. And it's all across the board: psychologists, doctors, researchers. I mean, there's nothing, and there was no no iffies. Like there was nothing all across the board. 100%. It said they are more successful and more they do better with their families. Why not? I mean, that's what they were born with. Like, my children, I had them under their mother. That's where they're natural. That's why it's called natural. We're their natural mother, we're their biological mother. Our children, those are our children. We birthed them, we had them, we created them. So why not? I mean, when you think a child would
Yeah, that's
be,
what I was thinking about the other day. It's just like, you were with this child for this amount of time of your life. And whenever I see on a show or something, oh, the kid is 10 years old, because my youngest was 10 years old. And it was just like, I can't get past that. I just see this little 10-year-old, like, oh, I bet you he was, looks something like that. And now it's been so long, you're like, whoa, I wonder what he looks like as an adult. And when you guys, what I'm figuring out is, I think he just looks like a guy version of me, because our
that's why my son
our
so much
pictures
just like,
from when I was a kid and his, is just like, it's weird. It's like
right.
even
And
worse.
these, and I know, not looking down upon anyone by no means, and like these adoptive families, but the children, they always are going to have a piece, like they're always going to be a part of us no matter what. I mean, you're never going to they want to rip these families apart and take our kids and TPRs and stuff, but wait a minute, you're still not going to take it's not going to happen. For one,
They're messing
right,
with their heads, like,
exactly. And that is not good for this. If it's a newborn, it's not good. Not good. Because in the future, what's that going to do to that child as it grows? I mean, I mean, I can tell you, kids are like sponges. They absorb everything we teach them. They look up to us adults. We and their parents. So imagine a 3 or 4-year-old that's just taken from their home and put in an environment or culture not a culture, a home they don't know, and a whole new community, a whole new state. Imagine that. Or these kids, special needs children that are put in these facilities that, I mean, my goodness, you go from a home to a lockdown facility. What? No.
they're being
It's
treated worse than
right.
prisoners. Okay,
Oh, it's horrible. It's
I can tell you,
horrible.
this is why me and Danielle both had experience with this Devereaux.
Yes.
And as
I'm
I
glad you
found
brought that up.
what's going to happen, and what I've done and I've seen, though, is they will use a different name. Like, okay, mine
It's
was Partnership for Strong Family, but
and
they're
they
like
change it.
one. No, they're like the same. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
it's almost like deceptive in a way. And if you're
The
not
set, yeah.
paying
Like
attention, you don't even
false,
notice.
like identifying yourself false, like falsely saying you're one thing and when you're really not. And what about like if they change the facility's name, but it's the same facility? Like that's representation. Like it's still the same place. There's nothing changed, just the name. I guarantee you, the abuse is still going on, the drama is still going on, and these kids are still experiencing the. Why did they change their name in the first place? Why can't you stay happy home in whatever, um but change,
Change their whole identity,
right,
right? It's
right,
like,
but just
I mean,
changing the name, you're not fixing the root of the problem. You're not fixing what's really going on. What is behind, what are the kids complaining about? Why aren't what abuse, what are you doing? Why are we complaining? What, our kids should be treated like they're
why
in
are our kids crying to go home?
well,
My kids were crying to go home. Like,
well, the
I'm
thing,
like,
well, we just think there's kids out there that don't have families, and bless their hearts. And I see it in the Devereaux, when I call my son, and it hurts, it bothers, it really does. Because my son, he's like, Danielle, I'm gonna put them all in my pocket and I'm gonna bring them home with me. Well, baby, you do, let's go. I'm ready. Look, I will treat them just like they're my own. They are people too. And so these kids that don't have families, they're still people too, and they still deserve a life. They a chance at life. Just because their family or whatnot, may have been struggling or whatever, but that's no reason for these facilities to treat these kids like they're nothing, because they're still people too.
They're
They
being
still,
abused. I mean,
oh yeah, definitely.
it's so obvious, the abuse.
Yes,
It's
they're, well, the neglect is definitely there, because they're taken away from their communities, they're taken away from their environments, they're taken away from civilization to socialize, to be social butterflies, to interact with different people, not the same people every day. I mean, that's like doing a prison sentence. Like, you're sentenced to so much time, but eventually if you're not in there for life, you're going to get out. They can't hold you forever. Well, why are they holding these kids in these facilities?
when they're
I mean,
adults. It's like, okay, how are you not going to, like, I could say they admittedly say that, my daughter, she wouldn't be able to live on her own as an adult. Okay, so
to a point,
why aren't you giving her my number and my address and
right?
showing her how to get a hold of me, because she's been
Right.
crying to go home.
Why can't they have free access to you to communicate out? If they're adults and it's voluntary, right? Why can't they pick up the phone when they want to, after they're done with the program or their school day or whatnot, and have their evenings? Because when I was in prison, after we got done with our schooling and stuff, and no kid should ever be treated that way. No kid, if they have not committed a crime, hello, like, what's up? My kid should not be detained in a facility when he's done nothing wrong. What has he done? These kids are being punished for no reason, for nothing. What are they being punished for? If they have not committed a crime or done something.
Like you make that point too, Danielle, is looking at how far they're taking them away from away from
He has
you.
he has no family. He has no one out there. Nobody.
When they took my daughter, even though it was like still in Florida, it was like 7 hours away from where my son was and from where we were. So it was like, wow, it's like,
and it's like a
it's
shock.
like kids on a dangerous trip. Like, they use the same driver that they use for a 7-hour trip there and then a 7-hour trip back in the same day. Are you kidding me right now?
That's a lot. That's a lot on a person, or even a child.
In the car. I'm sorry, we don't smoke cigarettes,
Herbert said, don't they give parents a plan? Let me see if it'll come up on the screen. Don't they give parents a plan? Come on, screen. Let's go, buddy.
They gave us a plan.
Yeah, they said, don't they give parents a plan to follow in order to get their kid back? Herbert, they do, but they don't even follow by the plan themselves, because they throw a piece of paper. They don't even throw a piece of paper at you. They just tell you, and then it's never able to be done. How am I? Okay, let me use myself for instance. Okay, I did parenting class. I did parenting class on my own. I completed it on my own. They never told me things I needed to do until the day before a court date. How are you going to tell me that I have to schedule this evaluation, all this stuff, the day before we're having a court date that's going to be a permanent?
Hold up, Danielle. Whatever. I think you might have knocked into something, because your voice just went bad, like, all of a sudden.
Yes,
like, I don't
it's the connection.
Knock something.
Hold on.
It was perfect, though. I think it.
That better?
Yeah, that's better. Okay.
I'll have to do that. It's my headphone set.
I don't want to interrupt, but you were on a roll.
Oh yeah, that's what happened. That's me. So Herbert said, "Do they give us a parenting plan?" They do, Herbert, but they don't even. Plenty of parents have completed them, and then they give you more, and it's like it's a never-ending story. It's like a revolving door. But what's the success rate with being reunified with these kids? Is there any parents out there that are listening to the show right now that would love to share with us? Have you got your kids back? Have you been reunified by completing your parenting plan? Because every parent that I've talked to and came in contact with or communicated with has not been reunified. And they said they've completed a parenting plan. And I'm sorry, 2 years, if your child's come on, look at Brenda, 9 years. Why hasn't she got her kids back? If she's, if especially 9 years, a parenting plan. Well, I'm just in reference to if you completed all the terms of the parenting plan without without them, you know what I'm saying? If they would abide by their own policies and procedures, there would be a lot more successful parents. I promise you. But it's like, just like they say, it's like being sentenced for a crime that we did, that just for being a parent. It's crazy. I'm on
Well,
probation, and probation is easier than CPS. CPS acts like we're criminals right off the rip. When they show
yeah,
up at your
that's like
door, that you're a criminal
just
in their
talking
eyes.
about nice. Like we moved out of Florida because they kept arresting us, and we moved to Louisiana, and the probation officer here and the public defender are great. I was like, whoa, you guys
It's like,
are
yeah, it's
like, yeah,
all.
we gotta tell them, like, give them a thank you letter or
And
something because
and I mean, there are good ones. It's not the the system. Yes, it needs to be reformed, but there are bad apples, and
strange
that's the
though
thing.
because I have proof of abuse, okay, and I didn't get this proof of abuse until after my rights were terminated in January 2018. In 2019, then I was able to get this. I don't know how many page evaluation this is. Like 9 pages, I think, of this, but it's
Was
a
it a
show
parental
that
fitness or was it
being
a
a
psych eval? If I may.
yeah, it was the psych eval. But I'm going to tell you, I think I read a little bit about this before, but it just clearly shows that she's being abused while in this foster placement because the neuropsychologist is okay, this is the behavioral observations of mental status examination. Sage presented as a Caucasian female who appeared her stated age of 14. However, mannerisms and consistent with a much younger child. She arrived 45 minutes late to her scheduled evaluation because of the foster mother was late. So Sage was on average, okay, whatever, and her hygiene was unkept. It appeared as though her long dark hair was not brushed and there were white flakes observed on the roots of her hair, which otherwise looked greasy. Sage excluded a slight body odor as well, and her underarm hair was long and protruding from her shirt. When she leaned back in the chair, Sage's contact, what, in any case, well, why aren't they shaving her armpits? I'm like, what the hell's going on? I mean, because she's afraid of razors. I said, well, if she was at home, you would know that she's afraid of razors and we would use Nair or something like that. I can't believe that nobody's taking a look at this and saying, what in the fuck? I'm so sorry to say, excuse my language, but
It's okay.
come on, kids are suffering. And now young adults are suffering.
Right. Right. And think about and think about the kids that are not that are stuck in the system, like in the foster care. They don't have family. I mean, this is supposed to be their safe haven. They should be able to feel safe. It's supposed to be like a sanctuary. They should have anything and everything that they could ever ask for, within within means, but not abuse, not nowhere near like a prison. I'm sorry, I've been to prison, and I could assure you that, my goodness, it is how you make of it, okay? But my thing, hi Vicky, welcome in. Well, thank you for joining us. Hello, Vicky's from Ohio. She says hello, and
Vicky,
she joined.
is that my sister?
I don't know. She's right. Just added the chat right there. It's on the
Because
screen.
my sister's name is Vicky and she's in Ohio. So
Oh,
hello.
that'd be cool if it was her. But like, so these facilities that these kids are in, they're not only isolated. That's why that song that I played at the beginning of the show was called Whispers in the Shadows. That is for children in these facilities. They're whispering, they're not being heard. They're silenced all the time. Like my son, when he's on these visits, he even gets silenced on a visit with me. Like, why are you? No, that is my time. We're not. And my aunt, she'll tell him straight up. Oh, she said, no, she's not your sister. But still welcome in, Vicky. Brenda, she said, no, she's not your sister. But but thanks.
I should have sent her a link. Maybe that's my fault.
It's fine. But so, and while we got some people here, let's go. Let me stop for a minute and focus on the submissions for the stories. I'm going to do that throughout the show, Brenda. So February 5th, we want you to email. It's in the chat. If you can scroll up, I can add it again. But our email at the CPSV Hunting Justice at gmail.com. Or you can also do Unmasking Foster Corruption at Gmail. But if you're running to share your story out and get it out to, we're going to make a presentation for Trump and the first lady and the administration up there. But if you want to share your story, please send us your story to those emails, okay? By February 5th. Tell us what you want to see changed. What have you gone through? What have you experienced? Did they misuse funds to put your child into foster care? What did they do? What are you going through now? Are you still going through? What has it done to you physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically? How has it impacted your life, negative or positive? And were you ever reunified with your child? Or are you still going through it? Give us how much information you want to hear. Okay, Vicky. So Vicky said she'll share mine. All right. Well, email either the email unmasking foster corruption at Gmail or this CPS V Hunting Justice. I'll add that in the chat here. Hold on. CPS V Hunting Justice. But yes, we're gonna put a show. We're gonna do a 1 hour like a show for on the Valentine's Day, February 14th.
It'll be a live stream.
And it's gonna be a live stream, and we're gonna share your stories. We're gonna get the attention of them, and it's gonna go all, it's gonna be like I think it's gonna be like a 24-hour thing. So
And
it's gonna be nonstop.
If you don't want to share your name, that's fine. If you don't want to
Right.
even share your state, that's fine too. But at least we can get your story.
So as if you can, please get your stories in by February 5th, which you have a day. It's 2:00 Eastern time. Here we are. So you got till midnight. I mean, I'm sure that we could give or take, some, if you get in a little bit late on the 5th, that's fine, but just, please get them in by the 5th, which we're a day away. So I'll see if I'll extend that out, but it's so our backstage. So the designer and so he can edit and take out what needs to be out for your information, so we can make this one live for the live. We'll all share our stories. We're gonna do y'all's stories, and it's gonna be awesome. February 14th, y'all. It's gonna be the big debut of all this, and we're gonna show the administration and Trump what's really going on, what's the public is not hearing. That's what also Unmasking Foster Care Corruption is about. My show, the one where I'm usually on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5 p.m. And Brenda, what days are you on your show? Bring back Brenda. I'm
going to actually start doing Wednesdays at 11 Eastern time. And I'm going to still keep doing Thursdays and Fridays 9:30 a.m.
Okay, so there's 2 shows right there, and we she's like talking. She shares about her story and what she's experienced and things that she has gone through with her children and CPS. She's been in it a lot longer than I have. My story's 2 years, and each one of us has a different story, but we're all in the same boat. We're all dealing with this nightmare of Child Protective Services coming, taking our children and not giving them back. An average child is in foster care for 2 years. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely insane. So why can't they offer us services to get our family back right?
The thing is that they're keeping them from biological family
Mm-hmm.
and
it's gonna
relatives, because I know, and
it's gonna hurt them, their growth, their development.
All of our stories are different. There's always similarities, and maybe a lot of times there's quite a few similarities. So it really does seem like a pattern. A pattern of abuse is really what it is.
Right. And
we're victims. We're survivors. We're surviving through it. And that's the other thing is, we always have, people with ideas of how to, relax, don't get bad thoughts in your head, take care of yourself, keeping healthy. And that's all part of, we can support each other along the way, because we're all pretty much in that same boat, and we don't want that boat to sink, right?
Right. Well, we're all, we stand together. It's we the people. We're here. And yesterday, last night on the show, Miss Clearwater, or was it Clearwater or Athena? One of them, I get them confused, but I know that one of them is overseas in United Kingdom and the Wales. And it's bad over there too. They're taking kids. So it's worldwide, people. It's worldwide. And hey, we won't shout from the top of the mountain because I ain't stopping until we get this brought to the light and these kids are home back with their families. And this
That voice reminds me
corruption.
of that song, Danielle. If you know that one, we're going to build a mountain from a little hill.
Yep. Yep.
And yeah, I was just like, I can't sing it. Maybe you got to practice that one, Danielle.
I will. I definitely will. Heck, if I get on here and sing, that'll be like a new one for me. Because
I
boy,
say,
I'd
I'm
be
screaming from that mountain. I'm gonna be out there.
look if I would, that
I'll
would
be
be
doing the Trump dance or something.
yeah, right. Maybe I can handle maybe this camera view, but if I was in front of a big group of people, like whoa. But at least I'm like just on, maybe one day I'll sing, hopefully,
Just
because I
close
would
your
love to have
eyes.
right. I would love to have my singing voice back. It'd be great. I used to have a heck of a voice until I got older, Here I am getting older.
No, I was
And
telling her, if anybody didn't hear her singing to her son, I mean,
oh
right
yeah,
there, you know how beautiful.
and that is, the moments I share with my son with doing that is something that, my name, my let me tell you a little about my son. My son, he's got a story. He does. My son has never been in CPS custody. He's never been in, and this is something new. They got him 6 months before he turned 18. Why did they even bother? That's greed. That's selfish, and that's messed up because he's almost 18, an adult. Why even? That's messed. He wasn't in danger, but this was a family member, a toxic family member. That what in her right mind would ever think to do that to a child, on top of that one that just his Meemaw just passed unexpectedly. Okay, so not only did he lose his Meemaw, but he lost his family as well, all in one, and taken and just and no, I mean, it took me, I didn't find my son for 2 months, so nobody told me anything. I was on a wild goose chase, and they were just sending me in a circle. It's like it was a game to them, okay? And I knew they were, but I never knew that it was the family member that started all this. And when I found out, it's sad because it was at my mother. They had a memorial for my mother. Okay, I wasn't invited to it, and that's when it happened. Because come to find out, there was a caseworker that was at the memorial, and I did not even know that, and that's wrong. That's just outright wrong. That the lady, she played. I mean, apparently she was supposedly a psychiatrist, but no, she was actually the intake when. So the memorial happened, and then what they do? Take my son? Like, no, that's not right. Why was she at the memorial and I couldn't be there? I wasn't allowed around at the memorial. Like, so this is the family member. This is on the family member, and that's how toxic and corrupt our own family can be too.
Danielle, it was messing up again. It could be
sorry.
possible to get it like really emotional into your story. You're moving too much. It could be.
I know when I get riled up, I'm gonna be Hulk. My son.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Puny little me be Hulk. Yeah, okay.
You're like me though. I like when I start telling my stories, like boom, boom, boom. Because it's so in our head. It's just like we can talk it out so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
It's
and I get on here, and I love interacting with the audience. I do, and on my show, that's what I do a lot of. I mean, I get people are probably like, her show is so scatterbrained. I am scatterbrained. Yes, I am, y'all. I really am. I cannot multitask for nothing.
Maybe they're talking about me because
oh no, because I'm so back and forth. My show, but you know what? That's who I am. That's me, and people enjoy it. That's what makes my show what it is. And also, me and Carrie is what made me and Carrie. We started out. So Carrie that show is in memory of Carrie. We couldn't ask for a better start off. Then I'm gonna have to. I wish I knew how to share these videos, because I would so share some clips for y'all from our first show. It was hilarious. Like when I tell you, but Carrie's a big person that has stood out to me a lot, and the reason why she influenced me a lot. She impacted my life a lot, and then just to lose her, we only did 3 shows together. Brenda, did you know that? That was it. It seemed like many more, but it was only 3. It was only 3. And she didn't even want on, like, she didn't want to be like, she was going to be like behind the scenes, like working everything for me while I'm live, But she ended up, I sent her the link, right? And this is how it all started. And she's like, how? And she came on and she's like, okay, Danielle, how did this become the Carrie and Danielle show? Because she was live and she didn't realize it. She's like, are we live? I'm like, but I had gotten tongue tied when it was my first show. And I'm like, and then here she come and I'm like, oh, and it's perfect. And then after that, we carry our phone conversations into the show. And then when we get off the show, we'd be back on the phone. That's how much me and her talked, like and then we called Darren and be like, Darren, we got an idea, like, and she's very well missed, like everybody. She is. And Carrie was a big one behind the scenes making stuff happen. If you could reach out to her, she was awesome. She was a good support. She was fighting CPS herself. She has Colton. Colton was even part of my show. He'd appear on there and I didn't look. It was awesome. Greg was even part of the show. And it is, I mean, we goofed off, we had fun, and the audience loved it. And it wasn't like it was scripted. No, we didn't have a script in front of us that we went just like it was. I mean, like we were talking on the phone. We were just discussing things, talking about special needs children, how they communicate. She even told me how Colton communicates, which is by a keyboard on a computer or tablet. And that's how a lot of these nonverbal kids, I mean, think about it. Back over a decade ago or 20 years ago, they didn't think about that with these nonverbal children. So these nonverbal children would act out and have like a heck of a temper tantrum. And you get what I'm saying? Can you still hear me? Or
Yeah.
Yep. It's going to go in and out. Yeah. If it does, just be like, Danielle.
It seems good.
Okay. But you hear me about like the nonverbal kids. And so imagine being a nonverbal in these facilities. How do they communicate? They don't, I mean, well, apparently they do give them tablets, I guess, because that's what I've heard when I visit. Yes. So, but my son don't have one, but my son went out there with one and his got broke. My son's always, so why, but I know there's a lot of nonverbal children out there or teenagers. So my son's never been around that before. He has, but he hadn't, not on an everyday basis, 24 hours a day.
And it's not good. It's not good for him.
No, he's picked up their stems and he's picked up he copies stuff that they do. And when he was home with us, like when he was with us, like my nanny and mom, and when I was in his life as well, because he stayed with my mom and my nanny. Because that was when, I'm going to tell you the story behind my son is when my son was born. When I got pregnant with my child, my pawpaw was my best friend. I was pawpaw's princess. Okay, when I tell you I got away with everything, I could do no wrong. Okay, like my mom would get in trouble, my papa would get, which was her dad, and he was like, look, I was his princess, and there ain't nobody gonna get on to me. Oh no. And I took full advantage of that. Like I was such a butt. Oh my gosh, my mom would be, Danielle, and Papa would be like, don't you dare, don't you get on to her, she didn't do nothing wrong. No, and darn well I done took a cookie or something.
The baby of the
oh yeah, I was Papa. Yeah, look. Oh yeah, I could go show my eyes to my Papa and be like, she would be in me, and my mom, she got so mad at me. So I was like, but I missed those moments. But so I was pregnant with my son, and it was 2005. And my papa looked at my nanny and he said, Mama, it was the day after Mother's Day weekend. And it was the day after Mother's Day. And he said, Mama, I can't hang on no more. Take care of that little boy. And do you know, and he passed on, he gained his wings. And when from that moment on, my nanny kept her promise to my papa. And and I believe my son, being around, like when I tell you they were like two peas in a pod, they were inseparable. She was like, when I had my son, she was like trying to catch a football, like the quarterback catching a football. Come on, boy. And it was embarrassing. I mean, like having her nanny stand, like, hello, I'm like, nanny, come on. But you know what? I wouldn't change it for nothing because it made my son who he is today. I would not ever ask for anyone else ever, because my son is who he is today because of her. When I tell you, she kept her promise and she took care of him. And that was something I could never take from her. I know my son stayed with my nanny, but when I had gotten in trouble in 2011, and that's what brought the guardianship up, because I had gotten in trouble, and then I didn't want DFCS or CPS to be involved at all. So I asked my family for help, and I was going away for a minute. So, they have to have permission to have say over their education and stuff from us, as parents. So they had to enroll them in school. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why, that's the only reason why the guardianship was ever done. Otherwise, if you can't change the past. Okay. The past is the past, but we can fix it in the future. And that's what I've done. So there's no reason to dwell on the past. But the thing is my mother kept her word to me. And in that courtroom, when me and her and the other family members were in there doing the temporary guardianship that day in August of 2011, she kept her promise with my nanny did, to protect my children, and all three of my children, not just one, all three of my kids, and to keep them out of the state's hands. And you would think that the family members that were over my girls that got guardianship that day, temporary guardianship, would have done the same thing, because they said that they promised the same thing to me in that courtroom. It's kind of like being under oath, but look at her now. The family member gave my son to the state. And that's the one thing I didn't, that's why I asked my family for help in 2011. But my mom and my nanny kept their word and their promise to me. They let me be in my son's life. They did. They never denied me my child. My girls, I can't say, I can say differently. My girls, my youngest baby, she's mad at me. And but I've never not wanted to be in my children's life. My girls, I've always wanted to be a part of their life. And I would have done anything. I've tried to reach out to them. I've been shut out. I've been alienated. I've been isolated.
So you have two other girls
three kids.
besides
Yes.
your son?
I have my son who is an adult now. He's 19. He's in foster care. But I have two girls that are with the guardians, which is family members of mine. It's a aunt and cousin. And yes, and they are not. I have not. My youngest, my middle daughter, she's almost 18. She's 17. But my youngest, let me tell you, if I could put a picture of her, I would love to show y'all. The last time I got to see her and really talk to her was probably over a decade. But I mean, that's how sheltered they keep my daughter. I mean, I've just now got to see my 17-year-old through social media and stuff, because she all of a sudden just unblocked me, I guess. I mean, and I had to stop talking to her, and because she's been brainwashed. But there's two sides to every story, And
Obviously,
I told her,
they're brainwashing them. And it's nothing, this is what happened, Danielle. It's nothing to do with you. It's what she was put into. Now she's thinking differently, right?
well, and she probably still might. Now I'm talking, I don't know about my youngest, because, I've been told that she don't want nothing to do with me, but I beg to differ, and I'm giving her time or whatnot. And that's going to be I'm going to address that here in the next couple weeks, because that's something new that's come up. But my middle daughter, Layla, when I tell you, the first time I've talked to this child in a good while, she says the things she says, and I let her, I listened to everything she had to say. Okay. Cause you know what? I've not been around. She, you know what I'm saying? I deserved to let her say what she wanted to say, get it out, let her speak her mind. And some of the things she said, I'm like, wow. So when she was done, I told her, I said, Layla, I said, so now I'm gonna tell you this. I said, before we continue on, because every time, we talked for a good 3, 4, 5 days, just here recently in the last 6 months. And I told her, I said, Layla, I said, I love you. I said, I've always loved you, and I always will love you. I said, I'm probably your biggest cheerleader. I'm your biggest fan. I said, the person that you've heard the loudest at your track meets or your homecoming, what? I said, the person cheering you on, your chorus, I said, that's me from the side. I said, you may have not ever known it. I said, but I promise you, when you got them flowers, you didn't know who they're from. That's me. I said, I love you, and I've always wanted to be in your life, and I'm going to let you know that I'm here. But I've always had to cheer you on from the sidelines, because I didn't want to, because there was things going on, and just roadblocks is what I said, blocks, And I didn't want to cause no stress or anything. I said, but the thing is, I said, there's two sides to every story, honey. I said, and I've heard what you've had to say to me. I said, now I'm going to tell you, until you're ready to hear my side, we can't talk right now, baby girl, because I don't want to mess up something that has potential in the future for a mother-daughter relationship. Right now, you are stuck on you that I did all this to you. And honey, there's two sides to every story. I've not been able to speak mine. You were young when I got in trouble. But don't ever think, not 1 second have I ever not wanted to be in your life. My mother was the one that kept me in contact with my girls. And I said, Mom, I said, my mom was like, I'm going to be honest with you. When I saw a picture of my youngest, right? And I was like, Mom, I said, is that? And she goes, Danielle, she goes, that's your dog. That's how sheltered my kids were. Like, I wasn't allowed to pictures, nothing of my girls. But my son, all day long, you ought to see what we did at a Special Olympics one year. It's me and my nanny and my mom. And we're having that Carmen Sandiego song, like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Well, this was for my son, because we're looking for there's all these kids, and I'm like, where is he? And we're like, where is he at? All these purple shirts and red shirts. And I'm like, oh geez, so I made a video, and I'm like, where in the world is my son's name? And my nanny was on it, and my mom, and I will cherish that forever. I've been so that's the things. And for these people to tell me that I abandoned my son, that hurts. How could you go by hearsay? My aunt don't know what I've done with my child. She has no clue. She don't know. The only people that know is my mother, the community, my nanny, and my son. But it's funny to me that when I visit my child, he knows exactly who I am. And it's just like that's one bond that is not going to be broken. And neither is my girls, I promise. Yeah. So I had to cut the community. I didn't cut the communication. I told her, I'm always going to be here if you want to talk. But right now, Layla, I have to look out for both of us, because this is something that is new to both of us. For this, us, I said, in everything that you're coming at me, you have not heard the other side. Now, when you want to hear my story, then I'll accept whatever you do after that. But until then, you don't know my side, and you're only going by what you've been told, baby girl. I said, now I can tell you what I've been through with this whole situation, and what I've gone through and what I've wanted all these years. I said, I can't give you this time back, and I can't get it back either. I said, but you know what? We can do this from here on out. I said, I'm here. I've always been here. I said, but and it really touched me that she actually talked to me. Right there's a baby step. That right there is a positive moment to look for the future, that we can build something together, as me as her mother and her as my daughter. Because you know what? I'm always going to be in my kids' lives, whether they want me or not. My kids love me. I love my kids, and I'm mom, and I'll always be mom. Nobody will ever take that from me, whether they want to or not. They can try their damnedest, but it's never going to happen. And my baby girl, I've always, like, me and my baby girl, we had a thing when I was in prison. I love you all the way to the moon and the stars. And I drew her a moon, and it was like the little funny looking one, the kid one that comes in the precious, not the precious moments, but you know what I mean. And it had stars on it, and that was our little thing. I love you all the way to the moon and the stars. And we had that, and she had a picture, and so she knew. But now it's like it's different, because that's how alienated I've been. My son, me and my son's relationship compared to me and my daughter's is like night and day. You would never think that, knowing that the family is supposed to be close, tight, and the judge left it up to us to decide what to do. But my son, I know him like the back of my, me and him, we yeah, like that's my buddy right there. That's my best friend, and that's my hero. But so are my girls. But my girls, I can tell you about them, and I could tell you that they're probably not happy with me, but it's only because of what they're being told. And maybe one day they'll give me that chance. Until then, I can love them. I can still try to reach out to them as much as I've been doing, which is every day. I do post stuff on, and I write them emails every other day or every week.
Really?
I do. And I have 3 email addresses, one for my son, one for my daughters, and one for my other daughter. And when they're ready, I'm ready to give them those emails. And then they'll be but that's up to them. I'm letting them decide because they're almost 18. One of them's just, as a matter of fact, let me give that shout out. Yes, I did give her a shout out yesterday, but my baby Audrey is she's 17 now, and let me tell you, my baby girl is happy birthday, honey. And I know that you are not, I don't want to. I want you to know that I love you, and I hope you had the best day ever, baby. And just know I'm cheering you on, sweetheart, and everybody's cheering you on, baby. And I love you, and I hope one day that you reach out and we can talk. I'm here, and I'm fighting
like
for
our
that.
all our kids, like that are about the same age. They could all come together as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh yeah,
it would be a whole big giant reunion.
Right. And think about these kids that are in these foster homes that are think about my son, this would be the perfect example of this scenario. My son was taken and sent to another state in a facility that, I mean, my son is not a behavioral drama child. What does he do? He paces. Okay, he moves around a lot because he's always on the go. He likes to be on the go. He loves to be outside. He loves fixing things. That boy did not want to play with toys. Like when he was 3, 4, 5, 6, he didn't want to play with toys. He wanted more grown-up things. Like he would fix things. Like he fixed his own CD player. The boy, my brother, who's disabled, does the same thing. Can take he had an iPod earlier. The first generation, the touchscreen, when they first came out with it, my brother fixed it. Can you believe that? Like, yes, he actually takes the time out, and he's fixed. Yes. So, and the only thing about it is if they are doing something and they know what their mind is set on, do not try to go in and don't try to give them even advice. Like, hey, well, maybe you could, any way that they can do it better, because they're going to fix it the way they want to do it. Let them do it, because what's going to happen is you try to do that, or you try to go in and change something. When they got their mindset on that, it's going to totally turn into a chaotic time, and they're just going to give up on it. That's something I've learned with autistic and special needs.
Yeah, my daughter Sage is definitely like that too. Like,
yes.
She'd be obsessive compulsive
because their mind's already going a lot, and once they get focused and they're able to actually, that's actually a successful moment for them. That's actually like it's awesome. And so why would anybody want to go change that? So don't let them, if they ask you a question, now that's a different story then. But don't mess up, because you know what? Their minds are going so fast, and that's what and imagine these nonverbal ones, they can't communicate. So, work with your kid. Don't just think that you know exactly what their problem is. No. Let them communicate.
I don't know what you think about this, but as far as I know, there's a lot of studies out there that say video games actually help people. And
it depends on the video game.
Crap going on with the them saying, oh, it's the kids. No, they're this is the way they're gonna have to escape the reality of maybe there's something bad going on in your life. Well, how can I escape that?
Right. And my son, when he was like from the age of 1 to 3, he was developing with the charts. There was nothing wrong, like nothing. When he was 3, we laid him down one night to go to sleep. We said our I love yous, good night. And the next morning, it was like, I don't know. He went all the way back to baby mode. No potty training was like, it was like, we started. And when I tell you, I've never experienced, but I know other parents that have experienced that, and their children are now special needs when they were, and my son, when I tell you, because before he turned that night, he was potty trained. He was fine. He was like talking full sentences, can communicate, and then all the way back to baby mode. If it wasn't for my nanny, I hit the floor. Like, I was just in total shock. Like, my son just could speak last night, and now, I mean, he had defecated all over himself. He urine, and I mean, he had it yanked his. It was horrible. It was horrible. Like, and so you could just imagine him. He was here. He was up here, but he didn't know how to. It's like was stuck in it but he couldn't get out of the bubble. You know what I mean? Like, it
Wow.
was, and I've, for all this time has gone by, and I've just now talked to other parents that went through the same thing I did during the same time my son did. So it
So you
makes
mean
you want,
age for that certain age?
yeah,
That
yeah,
it happened
because like I've got a
because
friend,
my daughter, it happened like
my
later on, and almost I
like there
kind of
was,
associated it with the same time that there was some trauma that actually happened.
well,
Uh,
like with my son, it was I don't, because the kids that the friends that and the families that I come in contact with that it's happened to them, it's like around the 2005, 2002 to 2005, 2007 era time period. And yeah, because like my friend, she's dealing with CPS right now here in Georgia, and she has a daughter that went through the same thing, and her daughter's my son's age, and I'm like, wow. And her daughter's the same way, was fine until and just overnight. It's like, I mean, my son, even when my mom passed on and he regressed, his IQ went down to like 41, 42. I can show pictures of my child where he just looks like a zombie. He's just there. When he goes taken and put in a foster care, when I tell you he's pale, he's white as a ghost, lost. You can just see the empty stare when he's looking at the camera, but he's not there. Do you know, when I came across the tablet screen, when I finally found him and I came across and I looked at the provider that day and was at a visit, I said, my boy is his personality is gonna start coming out now. I said, my son I said, he's gonna start like showing y'all who he is. He's gonna start showing his personality and being back. He's gonna come. I said, thank God, he's getting back to normal. He's getting back to himself, because my son was not. They said my son didn't talk nothing. Well, think about the trauma he's been through. He don't know nobody. My goodness. But the day he saw me, it's like right there it clicked, and like, wow. And that's the day my son was himself again, started being himself again, started coming to the light of things, like, whoa. And that's when he really started showing his personality, because otherwise they were like, well, they wanted to say he was all this and all that. They were trying to ask me. I said, he's traumatized. What do you think? He lost his Mima, his mom, and everything. Like, hello. He's in a hotel, and y'all would just think that he's an orphan. He's not. He has family. I'm right here, and he's got an uncle that loves him dearly, that's right here in my care as well, that wonders every day why he ain't home. I mean, my brother has even experienced CPS and what they've done when he was younger, and it's traumatizing to him, even at 38 years old. They made him pull his pants down and take a picture of his bum, his backside bottom, because he had a bruise on his bottom from falling off a bicycle. But they said my mother hit him. I mean, and I don't like talking about it because it triggers.
That's the thing. It's not just the kids; it's the adults too.
Well,
And
this was when my son or my brother was younger. Like, we were in elementary school, but the
well,
adults, they do it. That's where Adult Protective
this is
Services.
what it's creating. It's
Yes.
creating a society of people that are so traumatized, and
But you don't ever hear about Adult Protective Services, though. You never do, hardly ever. But it goes on. Think about it. These elderly, the elderly, the nursing home. It's there, so it's there.
Yeah.
But they don't. But now it's starting to be exposed, just like the Child Protective Services part. These people, it's our children and our elderly that are being abused. It's horrible. And the special needs, the disabled.
Oh yeah.
So right, and it's horrible.
See, that's what I feel about, and also, like with my husband. I mean, he's got onset dementia. I mean, he's actually been through all this with the kids, who has been in this horrible depression. And what are they going to throw him in jail?
Right.
No,
and
I'm
it's
like,
just, and the trauma he's been through probably triggered the dementia to make it, like with my father, when my mother passed, he was there, and my son was at the house. And the thing is my dad is not the same. Like, it triggered him into dementia. He's got dementia now, and And my dad was not, so he lost his best friend. He lost my mom. And that was his best friend. And my dad's very, very dependent on my mother. Like, he's lost. I mean, the way my father was, I didn't know how to handle it because it hurt. It hurt. And I was the one that he lashed out the most because I guess, I don't know, I'm the oldest. And, you lash out at the one you love, but my dad knew I guess that was his way. I mean, I love my father no matter what, even though we may not agree on a lot of things, but still, he's my dad. And I'm going to always love my father, whatever's going on. But the thing is he did lash out it was okay. Dad, I'm here for you as much as you want me to be, as much as you'll let me be, because I know you're grieving. And I haven't even got to grieve my mother's death, her passing, because the CPS thing, it was like, wow, it came out of nowhere. Like, mom and then my son. Like, I saw my son being drug out of the house by my family member the day I show up to my my parents' house to be with my family upon my mother's passing. Like, and to get my son, because that was the first big thing. Okay, my dad was my worry, and my son. That was my biggest, and my family, my brothers, my brother, my disabled brother. Those are I'm the oldest of all three of the kids of my mother's, and that's what my mother would expect of me. And when I didn't even get out of my truck, and I'm hearing my son, help, Danielle, help. And I turn around and look at that.
Well, that's the thing with
I'm drinking Pepsi, sorry.
they came to the house, and like the sheriff my husband was running against, and 3 deputies plus one CPS worker, they were pounding on the door for like hours apparently, and threatened my son told me about it. He's like, Mom,
A
this is what happened.
child's not gonna lie.
Says they're either gonna bust down the door if we didn't open it up. I'm like,
Right.
oh my
A child is not gonna lie, especially when there is a trauma, a very scene like that, a very traumatizing scene going on. The police kicking in your door, whatnot. They're not gonna lie about something like that. I'm sorry. So if they're telling you that didn't happen, and that your kid's telling you that it did, because that is something that a child should never have to go through. On top of just imagine if they're sitting there watching a TV show, and the door gets kicked in. Imagine what is that child gonna do? Scream, probably. Like, and who are the person they're gonna scream for? Probably mom or dad. Honestly, like,
Yeah.
and so if they told you that your kid was lying, they're shame on them, because your kid wasn't lying. I promise you that. No child. A child is not. They don't lie. They're innocent. They only learn from us. They will learn us what we do.
Ones with autism too are innocent as well. Like, even if they're older, I mean, they're innocent.
You don't do any. You're supposed to protect children, not hurt them. They are like, when we were younger, our communities protected us, because you know what? That's the way that, that's just, it's just it. You don't hurt children. You don't do that. So whether what color, race, whatever, they're still children. They're still people. Why? What makes somebody think they can sex traffic them or sell them? Or, I'm sorry, no kid should ever have a price over their head. Never. Why would a kid ever think about it, Brenda? Right? Don't these kids with CPS, when they're taken and thrown into foster care, they have a price on their head, because don't they get money for that? Like, each head they put in foster care, they get federal funding.
Where they actually it's like a catwalk. They walk up and down while the people will stand there and pick out, I suppose they just have them by numbers. Maybe they use the name, who knows. But
man, the website in Georgia here, they have a website where you can go on and see all the kids, and it's just,
Florida has
I always get on there and look for my son. I'm like,
the Heart Gallery. They have that's what around where my kids. That's why I was looking at it, because I'm like, well, maybe my kid is on there,
Right.
Oh,
And of course, like it's like we don't, no parent that is dealing with CPS wants their child to go up for, they do not want their child adopted out. Now, you do have them parents that maybe they're young and they got pregnant, these moms, and they're looking out for the best interest of their child. So if there's a family but that is an agreement that they made. It's not like people took
it's
their
their
kid.
decision. Yeah, it's
Right,
their
right.
decision.
They're looking out for the best interest of that child because they cannot provide. That is what you call a good parent. To look out for the safety and security of that child, and they can't provide for them. To look, and a family is willing. That's a win-win right there. Like, I would think, because this kid's gonna. Hey, Debbie, welcome in. But when you think the kid's gonna be safe, the mom did right for the child, worried about that child's well-being instead of having to put that child through any kind of stress as a newborn, a 1-year-old, 5-year-old. No child. But if there was a family that stepped up, and now guess what? That child is still involved with his mother, his biological mom, and has blossomed into a young man, and he is on his way to being a CEO for a company. Just imagine. That's a win-win right there, wouldn't you think? Like,
Mhm.
that is what we need to be hearing, these success stories, not about these kids thrown away in these facilities. You know, leave it up to the parents, and CPS should have no involvement at all. There should be no involvement, because there are families out there that will and would love, because that maybe they can't conceive, and so, if these kids, there's families, trust, why are they stopping these families from getting these kids that need families? You get,
I
not
see,
not the ones that are taken for abuse or anything. Go ahead, Brenda.
that's why I think it's just like, and there's people like, say in the federal government that know about this. Okay, the FBI. Do you see how many people are being fired off the the FBI right now? I
Yeah.
mean, this was very predictive of what would happen. These are the people that are responsible. Then maybe
Yeah.
we're just going to start at the top and work our way down to, hopefully Trump's going to notice us.
Yeah.
Hey, you know.
And what's crazy
We
is,
are, we're parents, and
right,
children are being abused, and
right.
it's like,
And in the
I
old
can't,
administration, they were like, because Biden, think about it, Biden looked out for his son. He pardoned his son. Well, why can't we protect ours? Why are you allowing Biden to take our kids and abuse them, and
they're hostages. They are
right,
hostage. Okay, they don't want to be there. Do
but
they understand the
no,
great
they
meaning
don't.
of
No, they
kidnapping?
don't.
They don't. They don't. They don't understand. I was just
The
like, I could
kids
that they're
that were
trying to say,
missing,
I'm trying to kidnap your daughter. No, she's like, Mom, I got my bag pack. I'm ready to go. I've been waiting for you.
my
So
son,
that's not
my
a
son,
kidnapping. You
my
know,
son, my son
that's
said,
God,
he
please
said,
help. You know,
my son said he don't even care about the stuff he's got. He's just ready to go home. And he gonna leave it. He'll leave it. And it's sad that I hate thinking of it like this, because it's like when I got out of being incarcerated, it's like I gave all my store and everything to the other people that were still going to be in there, and I shared it with them. And just why take it home when they can use it? Like, what am I going to do with it? I mean, why not give it to them instead of being selfish and take it with me? No, share it. What am I going to do with it? It would end up probably getting thrown away or something. I took my books, my letters and stuff. But why the food? Let somebody else eat. Somebody that don't get stored. Why bring? I mean, they're still in there. They could be facing life that we don't know. Because usually you don't talk about your sentences in there, but some do. But still, it don't matter. They're still behind them walls. So I'm out. I'm out. My sentence is over. Why take it out? And that's just like my son. He's like I don't need this stuff. But I mean, he'll take what he wants with him. And I hate thinking of it like that. Like, that's what my son is. He's getting out of jail. But when? He's been told 7, 12 times. He's been let down. Christmas, he was saying he was going. They've been saying this stuff for over a year now. That he was supposed to be home by Easter last year.
that's funny because I recently, a lady shared a story with me. She had a niece that they were saying the foster placement where she was at. I mean, they couldn't do it anymore, and they didn't have a place. And if the family didn't step up, they would put her into an institution. She's like 14 years old. Well, my friend did step up, and she's like, okay, well, it was going to be temporary. I mean, the parents obviously it was one of those situations where there wouldn't be good with the parents because they're having,
Oh yeah, and there are scenarios like that. There are
but
where
the
the
thing
kid.
was, is this been going on for 2 weeks now, and the
Oh
lady
wow.
keeps telling her that the caseworker is saying that she's going to meet with her, and she's agreed to take the girl, but she keeps putting off the meeting. There's always an excuse. There's an emergency. There's this or that. I'm like, I can't believe that they're doing this to her
Wow.
or that girl, because this lady's on edge, thinking, oh my gosh, she like is nervous about doing it in the first place, and yet these people aren't even keeping up with, like you say, they're part of the deal. Herbert mentioned, they give you a plan or a deal or whatever was supposed to happen, and they're the ones that are not following through.
That's crazy. It's not fair to these kids that can we we shouldn't deter like it's every family struggles. I'm sure I know I struggle every day, but that's no reason to take a child. That's no reason to come and tear my family apart. That's no reason to take my son and traumatize him, and just because of false allegations or hearsay, or just because somebody's having a bad day and they want to try to sabotage somebody. That's not fair to that family. That is wrong. Hearsay should not be credible in civil court, criminal court, or in a CPS family court. No, it don't work like that. It's not fair. There's too much room for error when it comes to family court. Way too much. It's like a kangaroo court. It's like watching a cartoon on TV, and you're like, I mean, because when I've been on the criminal side, and there ain't room for error. No, because if any one little mess up, guess what? It's dismissed. No,
Well,
I
it's kind
mean,
of strange because, like, I'm seeing my husband have to go through this with going. Actually, the supposed victim was the dependency judge that initially, was responsible for taking my children,
mm,
and she's getting up and saying that my husband was calling her over and over again. My husband wasn't doing that, and she was even saying these throughout these 8 years. Okay, she's saying that this is what's been going on. It's just not true. So there was a couple calls. It's true, okay, but it wasn't anything wrong with those two calls or whatever, and it wasn't obviously to her because she's a judge. She's not going to take a call, okay?
right,
Or they said it left a message or whatever. Um, I'm sorry, but where's the tapes of this? If this happened,
right,
I'm not bringing it, but
yeah,
it's going in front of a judge of the same circuit. So is he ever going to get justice? It's like, is this for real? They're not going to even let it, like they're holding on to it, like they want to make the decision for this man, and that
right.
she feels my husband is a threat, when and saying that my husband ruined her life by making a video.
When she didn't
um,
even know nothing about it to begin
I-
with.
he also ruined her children's life. Like, we don't even know you have girls. We don't know that. I mean, oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
it wasn't, and the thing is, it's not like he said it directly to her. He did not.
Not
It
at
was
all.
not communicated at all. She had for her to take something like that and say it ruined her life. It would have to be directed toward at her, like like you know what I'm saying?
That, like how earlier you said, that you and Carrie, you didn't read a script. My husband always would say, hey, I was reading a script. It was his voice added to a cartoon, and
Right.
it's a creation. It's art.
People do it all the time. People
It's
do it all the
freedom
time.
of speech under entertainment, in
I mean,
fact.
that's like a content creator
And she doesn't
making a
own that
video.
name. Even if the name was mentioned, she doesn't own that name. How many Jennifer Johnsons do y'all know?
Right. Well, and
Um,
on top of that, how is she gonna? How did she come across it? Did somebody show her it? Somebody
yes, it
a
was the Florida
see?
Department of Law Enforcement, and they even admitted it, but it was almost like had two different stories about that. So how can a judge get up there and commit perjury?
Bias, right?
In it was like I'm like speechless about it. But yeah, I
And
was like,
I
I
totally
can't
get
believe
right. And what I don't get is I understand these judges are only they can only go by what's presented to them. So like let's say if you have a parent, like for my case, my situation, you get in there and you go to court and there's nothing submitted on the record for yourself. Like, say if I was your attorney, Brenda, and I just told you a bunch of smack, a bunch of stuff just to keep you hush, just to keep you thinking that, oh yeah, I got you. And I submitted your statement of facts. I'd submitted this, and it was on the record. But come to find out, all I want, and I'm playing like your attorney, and I just wanted off of your case because it was just, I wanted off when your children turned 18. I'd be off of it. Okay. So whatever to do to get this ball in the roll and just get it out into where it's not my concern anymore. Right. That's how I was done. And just imagine these people so all the judge can go by is what's presented in front of them. So if you have something that is not from the other party, or anything that we think is up there, and then we're wondering, they can only go by what's in front of them. They can't go by whatever's presented on the record. That's what they go by. So if you got someone that's working against you, and it sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks.
It's like because I was even going through some of my old paperwork, and it's like,
I can't believe
everything they say is a lie, and then they share that with the medical community. This whole story that's none of it's true,
and they still talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
And then, later on in the case, even though it was never proved, they will still bring it up. Like,
I gotta show you something, Brenda. Hold on. I would take wait till you see this. You know how we run TikTok, right? And how you said you want your family back. I'm Brenda, and I want my family back. Well, I duetted you, and it's actually went. It's out there. Like it's really? got a lot of views and a lot of likes.
And the thing is the only reason I ever got on TikTok, guys, was to find my kids. That's the only reason.
They've watched the whole video, and it's actually, they sent me the analytics, and I did not know it. There's been a lot of comments. People have liked it, shared it, everything, and it actually.
You guys to lately, I was just like, I was so fed up because I lost my whole account. And then Chris lost his whole account. So
I can play it. I wish I could share it on the show. I gotta figure out restream. I gotta figure out how to share screen and stuff. But I ain't messing with no controls until we say in stream.
I wonder, can't you just put your phone in front
of I can. Let me turn my virtual background off. Let me turn the background off, and then I got you.
I might be able to do it myself, though.
Actually, I can send it to you on your phone. Hold on. And you could share it because you don't have that.
What account is it? Do you know?
Well, I'm gonna send it to you on Messenger, and you could play it from there. Because you don't have the background on, and I'll send it to you, and you could play it on the screen. Because if I play it, and it's gonna be all, let me get it real quick. Here we go. And I duetted you, and I thought it was pretty cool, and I'm like, and it actually got out there. I just got the analytics for it. That's what's up.
Really?
Use posts to benefit your life. That's what they say. Yep. And it's awesome.
No, it could be out there, and it's my it's still from my old TikTok, but it's still out there, possibly.
Well, I do. When did you make that one?
On the cover.
I'll send it to you on Messenger. See if you got it. But I do edit you in it. See if you. Yeah, it's great. Okay. It's and I was like, bring our families back. Give us our families back in it, because you're like driving, I think, and I'm like, Brenda, you're not supposed to be driving and talking on the phone.
I think I do have that one.
No, I sent it to you, but I do edit you. It was a video you had, and I do edit you. Did you get it?
No, I did not.
Okay, I might have to.
I know the one that you're talking about. I think
so you didn't get it on Messenger yet.
No, let me play this, and tell me if it's the one.
Oh, it's okay. It just got sent.
Cool.
It just got.
Okay, there it is. Okay.
It's my connection, y'all. I'm on AOL, like the dial-up. It's okay. I'm like ancient.
Debbie, wait a minute. This is you. Did you add your face to it?
I duetted you. Do you see you in there too? Click on it.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. I duetted you.
Okay.
Wait, have you not seen this? I mean, duetting you?
Oh, fuck.
Yes, man.
It's not working.
What's it saying? It won't open?
No, it says not found. Try again. See, this is what TikTok and them are doing to me. I swear to God.
I got
Big brother guy.
Look, I can do this right here. Let's go over here and let's turn my background off, and I'll play it for people So we can do this. We will figure this out. Yes, because
Let me click on this in the meantime. Is it this one? Wait a minute. I gotta turn this up.
it's got. Hold on.
Trying to take care of
Yes.
a problem that happened in Louisiana, and it all gets back to this Fall Fusion Exchange
I
bulletin.
think so.
And I like this song because don't just keep
That's
believing,
one
man.
of them.
You are perfect, and you're the one that can do it, and you're the
Yep.
one that's going to make sure it's done. We want our families back. We want our
That's
children
it.
back.
Yep.
And we're going to be shouting it to the rooftops.
Yep.
My name is Brenda Cameron, and I
There
want
you
my
go.
family.
So I stitched you. I
Say
stitched you
period.
in it. I did. I stitched you in it, and I said, let me see. Please, I just got my screen off there. Here we go. And then I don't know if y'all hear it. Can y'all hear it? Hold on.
Your voice is crackling again.
Oh, hold on.
I want my family back.
Can y'all see it?
Period.
Oh, there you go. This is good.
Can you hear it?
Let's bring our babies home. Love you, Brenda.
Can you hear it?
Let's go.
Oh yes.
My name is Brenda Cameron, and I want my family back.
Thank you, Danielle. That's awesome.
Let's go. Let's bring our babies home. Love you, Brenda.
There we go. See?
Let's
Love
go.
it.
Let's go. Yep. And
Stops.
look, that's what I
know
did.
why
I duetted it.
I'm able to open it up on my thing.
Hold on, let me
Damn
plug
it.
my thing back
Well,
in.
I could go
messed
to
up.
your
Look.
channel. You got it on your channel, right?
Yes, it is on my TikTok. But I thought, and then so
You're my
it
friend.
and I followed. So you've seen it, Debbie? Hey, Herbert, I see you back. We're still on. Been on an hour and a half. I gotta turn my virtual background on because man, this is not my background, y'all. I swear. I don't want to keep up the whole house because I'm sure my.
Look at you got your things folded nicely. There's nothing wrong with that.
Look, you say that's folded nicely. Oh boy, and that's
does
hey,
look like
it does. But
My
look, that's that if that's
not
folded
want to
nicely.
see
Hey,
my bedroom. Sorry.
that's perfect. Like, look, that's just yeah. It's an older home, and it's It's
Oh,
older.
see, they're fucking with my thing again because look, it says I can't even look at my. That's weird.
Yeah. So what are they? Is it? So have you not been on TikTok in a minute, or because that I duetted that.
Probably about all weekend. I probably didn't do it all weekend.
Yeah, I stitched it. I didn't duet it. I stitched it, and what I did is I took the last part of your video, where it says I'm Brenda and I want my family back, and I made it and I put it in the hashtag bring our families back, or bring our families home or something, and it actually the analytics, and people have it's gotten out there, so I love it.
What is your name on there so I could look you up that way?
Well, it is. No, it's my name. It's Danielle, and then the last name is Waugh. It should I should have a purple I should have I don't even know if I put my new picture. I took a picture the other day and I was like, dang, for me to be 40, I look, I was I was conceited. I was bad. It was one of the days where I look, I was like, dang, so because I don't know, I dyed my hair and I was getting a lot of grays, but I don't like dyeing my hair because it kills my hair, and it's not.
Look at when I try to look at my friends.
Oh, so
something went wrong. Try again later.
That's weird. That is weird. Are you on a Wi-Fi? Maybe if you go on, is that a cell phone? If you're on your cell phone data, try that. Turn your Wi-Fi off and see if that works. But it might not. So Debbie's been here with us, and then Herbert is wondering probably what we're doing. Still on. No, I'm just kidding. Herbert, but and Herbert, y'all, I do. So let me share again about these stories.
Signal.
Go ahead. Is it still? Is it still not letting you see it?
Tell you guys, it's big. I don't know what y'all call it, Big Brother. I call it invasion of my rights.
Private invasion of your private. Yeah, you should think you should be able to scroll through your phone and.
Trump's talking about censorship. Come on, guys. We have been censored. Why? Because we're talking about getting our children back.
There's when Biden was in, we were censored a lot. Like I even Gunner got kicked off TikTok. And next thing I know, when he was on his first show ever on YouTube with us, with the podcast with Darren and stuff, I got a violation on my channel because it was Gunner's first show, and I'm like, but I appealed it and I won. But I'm like, why? What is so bad about? He's just voicing himself like every other family out here. What up? Like, don't be. And they did that to a lot of. But I mean, there's people, but you got people out there doxing and picking and bullying and what? I mean, come on, like,
You're right.
It's
and how
it's
is
big,
that okay? But parents that want to get together and say, hey, or are they just so afraid that they've messed with so many people that we're going to all rise up and
right and start a riot or something? No, we're not. That's not our goal. Our goal is to bring our families home.
That's what the news coverage gets. I get the Palestinians and hey, we have hostages. We want to talk about our hostages. How about that?
News is, I know, and we want to talk about our children being taken.
I can tell you that they're acting like Hamas.
Yeah, well, and just
families.
Yeah, and it's and I feel for, and we need to fix our country, the United States, like America. We the people, and like with West, I don't know if I get a violation of this, but I'm going to talk about it anyways. Western North Carolina, Tennessee, Hurricane Helene, all that. The community, the people stepped up and helped. They did so. Like,
wait a minute, Danielle, you're messing up. You're messing up again. Your voice.
Every time I talk about it, see.
Yeah, that's better.
There we go. You're here. Is that better?
Yeah.
They are not going to silence me. Sorry, guys. But if these people over there have suffered enough, but let me tell you, they are strong and the most nicest. Like, for everything that they've endured and gone through and experienced and lost, and then you got the fires that were over there in Western North Carolina here recently in Bat Cave. Bat Cave was one of the worst places hit by Hurricane Helene, and they had wildfires in like California, and I'm like, what? Wait a minute, no. And they were only, like, I haven't heard much more, but I do know that they should then, like, that's they've gone through enough. And with Biden, that should have been one of the first places that they went when Hurricane Helene, but they didn't. But yet over here in Georgia, in Augusta, Georgia, they were letting people work for FEMA and getting paid to do cleanup. But yet up in North Carolina, they weren't letting nobody in from out to help. They were turning people away. Like, no.
Yeah, what is with that? And
that's not how we the people work.
Like how that hurricane hit Florida, okay? I don't know. It seems like DeSantis is always on the ball getting money for every storm that comes in. But the thing is that what I'm wondering is, I think things would go a lot better for this country. And be it the storms or whatever it is, all this stuff that's going on. I mean, good Lord, guys, it just seems like you better like get into your Bible, because it seems like, it's coming, and the end times just seems that way. It's like, what are we living in? Is this all this natural disasters? I think if they gave us our kids back, I just think
Mother Nature,
so much better for everyone. I really do.
Right. Well, you don't, in our higher powers, I believe in my higher power, which is God, the good Lord, and you don't hurt children. That's God's children. You protect the babies, and you guys are over talking to yourself. I talk to myself. Is that what you mean, Debbie? Oh, we're over talking each other. Is it lagging? I'm probably lagging. See, me and Carrie used to do that all the time. It was funny. She'd be like, Danielle. I'd be like, I'll hush. Like, okay, because and then I talk to myself on the show, and I'm talking to y'all. It is weird on the show when I'm by myself, and I talk to the chat. Nobody else is talking back, so I'm like, and I'm like, it's, I go back and watch my facial expression, and I'm like, man, Danielle, you sure did a good one there, like, and I'm just like, I laugh at myself. I just think it's, but if my show wasn't like that, it's not scripted, it's not planned. when I start my show, it's me going in cold turkey, and hey, I go with it. I whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, you know. And I think that's what makes people come in, you know, like, you know. But I do want to take this is like one of those infomercial spots where for the commercial break, we're gonna stop for a minute, Brenda. We're gonna talk about the stories. We need the parent stories, right? There's submissions by February 5th at the emails below. By February 5th, if you want your story shared out on February 14th, get them to us ASAP. Please get your story about the impacts. If it's your friend, share it out. But we need these stories, and we would love to share your story and for you to be part of this on February 14th. Share your friends, anybody that has experienced CPS, or if you are devastated by the nightmare with these people that think that they can just take your family and just strip you of your family and your kids and just never take your rights. No, let's get your voices heard. Let's get your stories heard. Let's get these kids home. I'm going through it. Brenda's going through it. Our kids are. I mean, Brenda, do you know where your kids are?
No idea. But they were taken in Florida, and that's what I was thinking. If people wanted to share, like, maybe just the state that you're in, like, and we can, like, okay, so we have this many people from this state or this many people from this state, and start getting some numbers, and maybe we can just like add it up if you
think. And we all can also, this can also build a bond between us families as we come together and stand and fight this and expose it and get this brought to the light and get the Trump's attention, because I know they're listening. They are. Don't get me wrong. One day I did a shout out to Paris Hilton and Melania Trump on the show, and I'm pretty sure somebody stopped by because I had a lot of views. So hey, I'll do it again. Paris Hilton, if you're listening, and the Trump administration.
I love Paris Hilton. They actually came back and did another show with her and
Paris Hilton. Yes, Paris.
used to watch that. I mean, I love her, and she is
She got
talking
a bill
about
passed.
is in these institutions. Okay, this is what she's talking about.
Stop child abuse and institutional child abuse. She was in a facility herself as a teenager, and that she endured and experienced things. I mean, I can sit here and tell you, I know from the other side, like the videos, like when I visit my son, that she is not lying when she says these things. I've seen it from 4 states away with my child, and my God, and it's like, why? I mean, you can only imagine being the mom and my baby just wanting to be, I want to hug my baby. I was even on the news about this. Like, they said,
Really?
yeah, well, it was not about the child abuse, but it was about them, Georgia sending our kids out of state to bring out of state kids in because it's about the funding. They get more money for kids that are brought from out of state into our state for services and help. But guess what that does? That pushes our kids to where they have to be sent out of state. Tell me if that is not that somebody needs to we need to get that looked into, definitely, because that is like setting something up for failure right off the rip. Like, no. Why? For not only are you going to cause a ripple effect by sending that child, the home states, the child's home state, getting sent.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, your voice is messing up again.
Woo-hoo. Let's try it.
Am I the only one that's thinking about this?
It's my laptop. It's my computer. If I use my phone,
it's all better now. It's just like
it's my. It's just
you need to settle down over there.
I know it's my computer and it's the connection. I'm on a wired headset and got it plugged in, and I guess it's probably messed up because it's got to be my laptop because my phone does great. My phone's great.
Yeah, I know my son just took one of our laptops out of here. I used to brag that I had 2, and he's like, "I'm taking this one. This one's about had it. It's ready for the graveyard."
I got one that's the old ThinkPad, like the old Dell, like it's the one that's like a book and it's heavy. Oh my goodness, it's the old school one, and it's still. I call her old Bessie. It still works too.
Well, see, I still have one. Like Sage had her computer, Chrissy had his computer, so we have those up in storage. I mean, we have hard drives and towers that, just like old computers just sitting around.
Right.
Some of them even have the label of Florida Department of Law Enforcement because they
Oh
took them
wow.
out of the house after they took our children. They took all our computers and everything, and I was like, okay. And they didn't find anything wrong. And then 8 months later, we got those things back. It's like, oh my god.
I was just telling them about the connection. It'll be fixed the next show, because that's why I don't use my laptop. The only reason I've already known like that we could actually make the screen look like this with us, I would have used my phone. But no, it's a trial and error time. We tried it. We see how it works. So next time we go on like this, I will use my phone. Thanks, Herbert. Thanks.
I'm gonna follow you. You can't see
Okay.
it because it's too bright, but
Look, I'm blind. Like I'm telling you what, I'm probably need bifocals.
oh, look
That's
it. It's not gonna let me follow you, Danielle. Isn't this weird? We're letting all these different things.
on
It's
TikTok.
not gonna let me follow you.
Why? Do you how many followers do you have?
Probably not many. I don't think I have any followers. Wait a minute.
We'll
It
have to
says
look
long expired every time I try.
oh, that's weird. We'll have to look into that when we get off the show, because that is weird.
Well,
Mine just tells me I got too many and I have to delete, like unfriend some people.
really?
So, yeah,
It
because you
says
can only
you have
like the limit's 10,000. Like
oh,
I can follow the people I follow. I can only go up to 10,000, but I can have
that's
as many.
it. You can't take any more followers yourself.
Oh well, they better get over that. That ain't right. I see people with like million followers, and I have like a little piddly 10,000 or 8,000.
You're
I think.
following 10K. If you have 8,184 followers.
That is look. See, it's okay. I'm there. I'm there, y'all. I have like a mixture of stuff on my TikTok. I get on there, and there's a group there's a little community like that we do duets and stuff. We just silly stuff, and it's fun. That's what makes it all about. When we're in the virtual world, if we were like stuck in our houses right now, that would be something we would need to do. And here we are. I always told myself I would never depend on a device to tell me what to do. And guess what? It tells me my schedule and everything, and it sucks. I am going against my own promise to myself. What's going on? Like, it sucks. What happened over 10 years ago? Like, that's how much technology has developed, changed.
Well, I think this was nice about YouTube is even if you don't want to make your videos public, you can. It's a great way to organize your videos, and then it keeps the date when you posted it and all that stuff. So it just like keeps it all together nice. So, good thing I always save most of the stuff on YouTube, even though they erase our TikToks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see.
Our voice will be heard.
Oh yes, we will. We are not going to be silenced no more. We are unbroken, and we are going to be heard.
It really bothers people. My mouth, I guess. Like,
look, I tell people if they don't like it, they can keep scrolling. Because I'm gonna.
This is what I say: turn the channel. Leave me alone.
Turn
if you don't
the
like
page,
entertainment, goodbye.
Right. If you don't, right. If like when I was younger, my nanny used to watch the soap operas, like the soap operas, like Young and the Restless and Bold and the Beautiful, and oh my goodness, As the World Turned. And look, she'd tell us. Well, she would tell us that's when the VHS VCR was, and she'd have that tape in there and record during those certain hours. And boy, if we changed that day, look, the TV was hers for those 4 hours. We can have it anytime before that and after, but you better not mess with it. And I'm telling you what, and like that was the good old days, man. That was the good old days. Now, I mean, a VHS, what is that? Like, man, the movie, like.
When I was a kid and still in elementary school, I would run home so I could watch the Little Rascals on the little black TV in my mom.
Darla, I hate
she was watching her soap operas, but I went in there and watched the Little Rascals.
And as sometimes I would get into the soap operas and I'm like, oh, Victor did what? What did he do to her? Like, I'm like, oh my goodness. And now my favorite, though, I have to say, was As the World Turns. Like our not General Hospital, a Guiding Light was another one. Reba or whatever her name was on that one, Guiding Light. Because I think it was CBS or whatever channel those soap operas came on. It was 2 different channels. It was Young and the Restless Bold and the Beautiful on one channel. Then she'd switch it to where it was As the World Turns and Guiding Light. That was it. That's the one she watched every freaking day, Monday through Friday. I loved Saturdays, trust me. That woman, man, I think I know everything about the soap operas, and now they don't even have them on TV anymore. Like, because nowadays you got all this Netflix and all this other stuff. Like, we didn't have that. We had the
Danielle, if you're in jail, they do play him in jail, because when they falsely arrested me back in June, they were watching General Hospital, but there was like, I think the only same person was like Laura.
oh wow.
And,
so it's
yeah,
changed. So,
that's the only one my mom watched. That's the only one I knew. Like,
and I sit here and I go on my phone and I'll go to like my TV app and I'll go back and watch like old, like The Outsiders from the Little Outsider Gang, that movie and book. I love it. I love The Outsiders. And then West Side Story, that's another one. That's like a musical. Let's see, what's another? Sound of Music. I love Sound of Music. Little Monsters, I think it's Monsters or Little Monsters. It's a funny, like, haha, scary, type. I didn't even know Ghostbusters was a comedy. Like, I couldn't tell because it scared the shit out of me when I was younger. Like, what the that thing is, it's categorized as a comedy. Like, if they call that a comedy, then I would hate to see what Pet Sematary is. Like, they're scared the bejeep out of me. Like, and when I saw that my favorite's Grease. I love the movie Grease. And then Patrick Swayze. Anything Patrick Swayze was
John Travolta is in, I love it. Whatever.
Patrick Swayze was mine, like Dirty Dancing and Roadhouse. Oh boy, hey Patrick, what's up? What's up? he was that's a good looking man right there. And he was just like
my husband, because I found similarities in John Travolta. And in my little book, I wrote what my dream person would like. It had like the characteristics of like some different actors that
I loved him and Olivia when they did like later on before I think she passed, but they did like a tribute show, like a like later on like a go back on like a time capsule type thing for old memories sake. Yeah, and they did a music like a concert thing, and that was, you ought to seen his face light up. And it was so, I mean, them two, like
my husband was here, didn't want to watch it.
Yeah, like Patrick Swayze and the girl that played in Dirty Dancing with him as Baby, the connection they had, and then John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, the connection, you can tell the connection was there, whether or not they took it was to heart, and that's what made the movies great, because they actually now it's just like it's an acting role for them. They don't it is what it is. But back then, they actually had the heart and the passion for it, and they put.
I really like certain couples that were famous but stay together, like Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Yes.
Kurt Russell says some pretty smart things. I remember he was on that View show, and he really told him where it was at.
So what has happened to our time? Like, it's changed. Like my grandparents, they were together for, oh my goodness. And my parents were together 30, they were shy of 39. They did, let's see, I'm 40 and my mom, let's see, they were married before I was born. So they were married 39 years. And I was like, wow. And look, my mom told my dad when they got married, "You're stuck with me for life, buddy." Like, and she meant it too. She was not playing with him. And their marriage picture, it's so funny. I'll have to share it one day. My dad's like smiling like this, going, and then he's looking at my mom at the side. My mom's like, "Yeah, you did it, buddy. You got me. You're mine now." And I just love it. But they were two people. My dad did my mother.
Me and Chris have been married. We just had our 42nd anniversary, like 42nd.
Oh wow! See, I don't. Me marriage. I'm like me and marriage. I don't know. Man.
And the thing, that's what we were trying to put across to the CPS workers or whatever too, is, hey, we both come from a family where it was till death do you part. I mean, and on either side of our family.
And when they meant it, because it was going to be for you ain't getting the D word was not in the category back then. Like, there was not in the vocabulary. Divorce was not an option. Like, they were going to make it, and you know what? That is what makes, and that's how It was real, and they made it work. They worked through it. Now it's so easy to get it. It's horrible. Like that's no. And when you asked a woman to marry you back then, like in my, like, you know, I guess we can go back to the Future, like at 19 in the 80s, 90s, whatnot. You know, I'm not judging nobody's birth, nobody's age or nothing. No, I'm not right now. But what I'm like, the morals, it's the morals, it's the way people appreciate, like when I grew up, well, the way I grew up, you know, my dad gave my mom like any girl's dream growing up is she wants, what is it? The all-American dream. She wants to have the house, get married, have children, have a family. You know, that's any, you know, that's just, it's the fairy tale. That's what, you know, I think Cinderella, you know, I mean, that's what we were, but you
All
know,
strive
my
for
dad,
it.
yes, and my dad did those very things. He got a good job. He was working for worked for the water system, and then he did that first, and then him and my mom, they were together, and he got a job, the really good job, got a house, and then they got married, and then they had children. So right there, that is any woman, would love to have that. But you know, and then I don't know what happened with me, because I didn't get, like, I'm like, Mom, what did I do? You know, like, where did I?
You didn't meet the right person. Who knows?
Well, you know, you know what I always thought. You know how
Still out
the
there. In fact,
Princess
you're
Diaries.
very popular, so you might find someone.
Well, you know, like this is the way I was when I was like, Mom, maybe one day I'll get like the Princess Diaries. That girl in there with her leg pops up, like she kissed. I'm like, maybe I'll get. No, not yet. No, like. And then it was like, our fairy tales real? Like, you know, we would talk. That's just, I miss those talks with my mom. Like, just funny stuff,
All
like
right.
just random.
Danielle, I'm going to take off. I gotta get me some beauty sleep.
Well, we can go ahead and end the show. We can do that. We can say our goodbyes, and you know what? We can end it now. So you can say your last words, and I will.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, as far as you know, I know a lot of people want to talk about, you know, your mental health and different ways to relax and things like that. All I can say is just, yeah, I think you always got to take time out in your day to spend some, you know, quality time and do something nice for yourself, or whatever you like to do. Just go out in there and do it, and make sure you just don't, like, I know I talked to my sister-in-law the other day. She's like, oh my gosh, I've been laying in bed all day. You don't want to do that. You want to get up, you got to move around and get that circulation going, and eat healthy. I'm a big fan of eating healthy, because I mean, we got to,
self-care.
you know, we got to do it, and we just got to set that example, and hopefully, we just want our kids back. Can we have our families back?
Right.
Okay. All right, I'm done.
Okay. And everyone, if you want to share your story, like I said, get it emailed to us. Hopefully if you can get it in by the 5th of February. For the 14th, the big debut on the 14th, share your story. If you can be kept anonymous, just please get it to the emails provided, and I will share more with y'all as the time goes on, so we can give them enough time to edit and get all the stories into that show that we're going to do on the 14th. Email us at the Unmasking Foster Corruption at Gmail, or CPSV fight or hunting justice at gmail.com. So by February 5th, we are asking, you can reach out to us. Please know that you are not alone, and stand up and fight and protect our children. Let's bring our families home, bring our families back together. Let's stand together and fight this. We, the people, we can do this. Remember, you know, one person is tough, but I promise you, a pack is unstoppable. Pack it up, people. Let's pack it up, and let's bring our babies home, okay? I wish y'all the best day ever, the best morning, and I hope it's an awesome day. And sending my love and many hugs to everyone as your day goes on. Join us tonight for the show. Let's see. Oh, today my show comes on again. Oh, I'll be back at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So be on the lookout for that. Today is and then we have our evening shows. You know, we got, I believe, the Tip and Punisher show. We'll have the Kim, I believe it might be on. And we have the TPS breaking news show tonight. So, and then of course mine will be, and then Brenda, she has hers this morning, I believe, at 9:30. And then Vinny, I believe, is at 11 Eastern time. I'm not too sure. And I told you I would get this.
I'm still here. I just want to say mine will be Wednesday morning at 11. And then Thursday and Friday is 9:30.
Okay, so Wednesday at 11 Eastern time and Thursday and Friday at 9:30, you said, Brenda?
Correct.
So 9:30 Thursday and Friday Eastern time. That's Brenda's show. And I know I'm going to have to get the schedule. I got to get the schedule down. Right. I got to get the schedule down. Like I tell everybody this on the show.
Anybody is doing their show.
Right. It's switched up. I'm random, but usually I try to stick with it. I'm going to be on within the 30 minutes of my show time. Usually, sometimes, most of the time I'm trying to get on track now. But back to what I was saying, like, let me stop rambling my jaw, everybody. I'm sorry. Y'all have a good morning, a good night, good morning. Thank y'all for coming in and get your stories to us. And bring home our families. Let's get this brought to the light and let's make it happen.
February 14th, Valentine's Day. Be there, be square.
Yep. Right. So that's the woman behind the screen, y'all. Where she's somewhere. All right, y'all be good, y'all be safe, and we'll see y'all this evening. And until next time. Bye, everyone.